Good evening and welcome. You're watching an India Today special broadcast, and we want to go across live and exclusive to Dubai. Joining us from there, former Pakistani Army Chief, former President General Pervez Musharraf. Pakistan has seen many an army coup. For the first time, we are witnessing what many analysts are calling a judicial coup. A democratically elected Prime Minister of Pakistan being forced to step down without a proper conviction. Is this massive judicial? General Pervez Musharraf has for the longest time been an important player in Pakistani politics. General Musharraf, welcome to India Today. A big judicial coup this. We've seen military coups, including those by you, against democratically elected governments. This time, what we've seen seems to be a judicial coup against Nawaz Sharif.
No, not at all. Why? Let's not degrade such a good judgment as a judicial coup. It is a very good judicial judgment, a judgment which was well thought out and well deserved by Nawaz Sharif. So therefore, Supreme Court, yes indeed, previously on many occasions they didn't show such caliber, but this time they have shown caliber and they have reached a judgment which is absolutely according to the wishes of the people of Pakistan and according to the dictates of the situation.
So, judgments aren't determined by the wishes of people on the streets, they are ordinarily determined by jurisprudence and by law. Let's just take a look at what's happened in this case. The Supreme Court has referred charges against Nawaz Sharif and members of his family to the National Accountability Bureau and asked the NAB to file criminal charges. Now, in any proper country of the world, there would have first been a trial, Nawaz Sharif would have been convicted, and then action would have been taken against him. Here, he has been summarily dismissed. This seems to be a kangaroo court in a banana republic.
Not at all. It's not a kangaroo court in a banana republic. Unfortunately, Rahul, you people enjoy calling Pakistan banana republic, kangaroo courts and all that. Let's stop that. Okay, we are no banana republic and this is not a kangaroo court. It is a court of Pakistan, the Supreme Court of Pakistan. They've given a tremendous judgment. Now, the judgment issue was that the Prime Minister should be disqualified. That was the demand, that was the charge against him. And we have an Article 62 and 63 which states eligibility or ineligibility of an individual for the assembly, and that charge was there. It was proved very well, and he was disqualified.
So let's look for a moment at Article 62 and 63.
Charges against him, they should be tried.
Article 62 and 63 say that, whoever the person is in charge, and this holds against any political leader. He should be Sadiq, he should be Amin, he should be sagacious, he should be honest, he should be non-profligate. Now, if you look at the kind of sweeping terms that are used in these two articles, Pakistani analysts themselves are saying that nobody except for Prophet Muhammad is going to be able to fulfill those terms and conditions. Every other politician can be disqualified at any point in time, sir.
Well, Rahul, we are not talking of eligibility. You are referring to eligibility. Here it is a issue of ineligibility. And in ineligibility, it is very clear. Anyone who tells lies, and he has told lies, who distorts facts, and which he has done in the National Assembly, in the Supreme Court, in the GIT, he is ineligible. So what is the confusion in this?
No, let's look at the substance of the charge.
It's as simple as that.
Of which Nawaz Sharif has been found guilty, sir. The principal charge against him is that Nawaz Sharif did not disclose a salary which he never received. As chairman of a Dubai-based company called Capital FZE, he was entitled to that salary. He did not receive the salary. He did not disclose this when he filed his nomination papers in 2013. And Nawaz Sharif and his lawyers argue, if he never received that salary, how is he guilty of having concealed money which he never received?
Well, he was doing a job. First of all, I wouldn't like to get into a debate of whether the Supreme Court judgment was correct or incorrect. I am not a lawyer. I don't know. It was a correct judgment. It was a very good judgment from the peoples of Pakistan point of view. Now here when you are talking of doing a job, holding another job is against the rules of the country. Law, it's breaking the law of the country. As simple as that. And when you are talking whether he got paid, why couldn't he have been paid in cash? Which there is no record of.
No, but there is
if you are arguing that, it is on record that he was holding a job here. Now, if he was given cash, then what?
No, but what if he wasn't given cash? Does this not seem to be judicial overreach, where without the framing of charges, without there being a conviction, without there being a trial, he's already been sentenced? Of course, what you're saying may or may not be true. I'm saying there must be a trial, there must be proper procedure, at the end of which, if he's found guilty, action should have been taken against him. Here he's been dismissed without a proper trial.
Well, I think we are just challenging the Supreme Court just for nothing. They are very able 5 judges who tried. They know their job very well or better than your judges may be. So let's not criticize somebody who knows their job. Neither are you nor am I a lawyer to get into the details of these, why they were. The very fact that they violated the law of the land. He cannot do a job in another country while he's the Prime Minister, as simple as that.
General Musharraf, these questions are being asked because the Supreme Court of Pakistan is being accused of differential standards in different cases. It has been observed by many analysts, even in Pakistan and internationally, that so far not a single military general has been prosecuted for overthrowing the constitution, for subverting institutions. There are dozens of cases against you. You have charges of treason, murder, unlawful detention of Supreme Court judges. Yet you were able to get away. The army helped you cut a deal. You were able to get away. You were able to live in your houses in Dubai and London. The same Supreme Court allowed you to get away. The same Supreme Court dismissed Nawaz Sharif on charges arguably far less grave than yours.
Yes, Supreme Court takes decisions according to the dictates of that time. Now when you are talking of military takeovers, etc., the Supreme Court validated all the military takeovers. Why? Because it was required at that time. Pakistan was important, Pakistan's security was important, therefore the decision of the military and then validation of the Supreme Court because it was necessary. That is what it was done. And let us we work things on our environment. Pakistan's environment, we are not India. You do as you like. We do in our country as the environment of Pakistan is. And I think whatever is happening, leave us to our condition, we will handle our
So that's the point I was making about kangaroo courts in a banana republic, because when law and action is determined by the environment instead of being determined by set law, that's when generals can get away by having subverted institutions or done wrong things without the law coming after them, and democratically elected governments can be dismissed for charges far less significant, possibly because they're not willing to fully toe the line of the Pakistani military.
Well, Rahul, I take very strong exception when you keep calling Pakistan banana republic and kangaroo courts. Well, yours may be kangaroo courts. We are not kangaroo courts, all right? So let's stop calling this and trying to... You enjoy calling us bad names, isn't it?
No, sir. I'm quoting to you here what your own analysts are saying. Let me quote to you Omar Warich. He says, this is naked hypocrisy. In what world did General Musharraf declare his assets,
who has said that we are banana republic?
Or become Sadiq and Amin after serial coups? I'd like to quote to you S. Akbar Zaidi. He's a political economist based in Karachi. He teaches at Columbia University in New York and at the Institute of Business Administration in Karachi. He says after failed attempts to bring General Musharraf to justice, the general was allowed to leave Pakistan. The courts believed that the general would voluntarily return to face the cases. Not a single military general has so far been successfully prosecuted for overthrowing the constitution or for subverting Pakistani institutions. These are voices from within Pakistan, General Musharraf.
So Zaidi Saab, does he know that I came back to Pakistan in 2013 when all those charges were there? Do you know that, Rahul?
No, sure.
I went back to Pakistan in 2013. I was there for 3 years till 2000. Just a second. I was there for 3 years till 2016. All the charges were there. Didn't I go back?
Sir, but the army helped you
And
cut a
I
deal and
went
get
to
away.
court for 15 times.
That's the question that's being asked about differential
let's keep things
standards.
there. Oh, the army were, well, I have been in the army for so long, and army didn't help. I don't know who has told you that army helped, but it was the Supreme Court which gave the judgment, and the government itself, their representative, the Attorney General of Pakistan, representative of the government, said that he should be allowed to go out for treatment, and the Supreme Court said okay. Now what is the problem in this? What is the issue?
No, that's
and
the
I was
point.
there for
That's
3 years, by the
expedient.
way.
That's convenient.
And I attended all the courts, and I was under trial for those cases.
Do you believe, General Musharraf, that
What is
the
convenient?
dismissal of Pakistan's democratically elected Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif opens the doors for your return to Pakistan?
Well, it eases, but I was going to return to Pakistan. I always said that I am going to come back. I had gone, as I told you, in 2013, all the cases were there, and now the same cases are there. There is no addition or subtraction. The same cases are there. I'll go back again. I've been saying that. This dismissal of Nawaz Sharif eases the job more, eases my decision more.
How does the dismissal of Nawaz Sharif, in your view, impact next year's elections? Do you believe now Tehreek-e-Pakistan in charge, Imran Khan has a better chance, Tehreek-e-Insaf's Imran Khan has a better chance of doing well in the next elections?
Yes, he is the gainer. He is the gainer out of this judgment. PMLN is the loser, and PTI of Imran Khan is the gainer. So therefore, one can presume that if this situation continues, he will stand to gain.
Are you prepared in the political party that you have to forge an alliance with Imran Khan and to try and take on the almighty Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz in the next election, sir? Is that what you're hoping for?
I am prepared to be in league with anyone because my aim is clear. My aim is to dislodge Pakistan PMLN and People's Party because they both have been tried and tested for 3 times, and every time in governance they have failed Pakistan. Therefore, it is high time that they are defeated and sidelined for good. And they have also looted and plundered Pakistan. Therefore, they should be sidelined for good, and that is why I am prepared to rise above myself or my party to be in league with anyone who wants to do the same. If the objective is to get rid of these two, I am with that objective.
Well, what you're saying is exactly what Imran Khan says as well. So does that suggest that there will be some form of an alliance between you and Imran Khan, the General Musharraf and Imran Khan together will try and beat Nawaz Sharif and his party in the next elections?
The issue is, Rahul, is of strategy. Strategically, our thoughts are the same. The ultimate objective is the same. But the modalities to that objective, maybe that is the place where there may be differences. So therefore, if we can resolve those differences at the implementation level, tactical level, then well, we could be together. But I am not, at the moment, we are not together and we are separate. I believe in the third political force which I am trying to create, and I will do that.
Is the dismissal of Nawaz Sharif, General Musharraf, in your view, a victory for Pakistan's jihad factory? Amongst those who are most delighted are terrorists of the Jamaat-ud-Dawa, who are saying it's good that Nawaz Sharif is gone because he wasn't fully backing jihad.
Yeah, he was submitting and appeasing you, your Prime Minister and your country. That is what the people of Pakistan didn't like. Now it's not a question of the jihadi or terrorists. They are not terrorists in any case. Those who you call terrorists, they are not terrorists. We don't call them terrorists.
So the whole world now calls them terrorists. Very recently we've seen the Donald Trump administration start taking very stern action against the Pakistani government. We've already seen two big signs. One, $350 million of American military aid to Pakistan being held back because the Donald Trump administration felt that not sufficient action had been taken against the terror networks operating out of Pakistan. You're providing safe havens to terrorists and groups like the Lashkar-e-Taiba and the Jaish. I'm reading from the American report. And groups like the Lashkar-e-Taiba and the Jaish-e-Mohammed continue to operate, train, organize and raise funds inside your country. Finally, after all these decades, there's a government in the United States that's beginning to turn the screws on Pakistan, General Musharraf.
Well, $350 million denied by United States is not going to kill us, right? If anyone thinks that Pakistan Army or Pakistan will die without $350 million, that's not the case. We'll have to survive. We'll look for measures. I am very sure we'll manage. The other thing is understanding of President Donald Trump of ground realities here between Afghanistan, Pakistan and India need to be corrected. And unfortunately that was the problem with our outgoing Prime Minister. He couldn't correct the situation. He had failed us in the international arena where he could influence events, where he could correct impressions about Pakistan. Unfortunately, let's hope that Pakistan is better off and we can correct the impressions
So essentially
President
from what
Donald
I can
Trump.
gather, what you're suggesting, General Musharraf, is that Nawaz Sharif has been made to step down because the terrorists weren't happy with him, the Pakistani army wasn't happy with him, he wasn't doing enough of a job defending Pakistan's jihad factories, and therefore he had to pay with his job. That seems to be what's happened.
No, that is what. Well, that is what exactly what Indians would like to think, and you are thinking. That is not the case. The Supreme Court has taken a judgment, taken a decision on the merit of the case, and they have taken a very, very good judgment.
So you're saying $350 million from America doesn't mean very much. Is that because Pakistan is now flush with funding from China? I want to show you here this new India Today magazine cover. It says China's new chick. So you've got, in red, big chicken, and you've got a chick in green. Essentially, the headline reads, China is buying out Pakistan with massive investments and making Pakistan a new economic colony. China is now beginning to do to Pakistan what the East India Company did to the subcontinent.
Well, that is what you wish to do. That is what you wish to believe. Now, India Today is, of course, your magazine, and how nice they feel about showing Pakistan as the chick of China. We are not any one chicken, but China is a superpower, and we are friendly. They are our great friend. They are our neighbor. We've got a common border with them also, and therefore we have relations with them. It hurts you the most, therefore you will keep talking against it. When they are giving us aid, when they are helping us in our economic development, when they cooperate with us in the defense matters also, it hurts you. Therefore you give all the kinds of this magazine is India Today is showing the cover, and that is what you keep talking. And
but General Musharraf, as a once president and army chief of a once proud country, does it not hurt you that China is taking over the Pakistani economy, that Pakistani interests will henceforth be entirely subservient to their masters in Beijing? Is this what proud countries do, General Musharraf?
Well, you would have much like that India should have taken over Pakistan's economy and dominated our economy and trade and all that, which will not happen. That will never happen. But China is not doing that. We have our own ways, we have our own interests, and when we allow China to trade or whatever economic help they give, it is in Pakistan's interest. We find it in Pakistan's interest, and therefore we are going. They are not trying to enslave us or make us another chicken or whatever you are saying.
But does it not hurt you at all that you're fully, the money that you received from America for the last 3 odd decades, you're receiving much more now from China. But as a consequence, the loans that you're taking, and I'm reading from, if you look at what Dawn, your own newspaper, carried very recently, Pakistan simply doesn't have the economic wherewithal to be able to repay these massive loans that are being taken from China, and therefore you are essentially mortgaging your economic interests to your political masters in China. General Musharraf, that seems to be a very harsh reality.
Well, I know that the loans, we are increasing our debt burden. This is exactly what has been against Nawaz Sharif. And this is exactly why he should have gone. He has gone. It's very good because he wasn't managing the economy of Pakistan. We need to put Pakistan's economy back on track, and a lot has to be done in that regard. It is not a simple issue of taking of loans from China. It's much more than that. One of the elements also that remittances from Pakistan, about $4 to $5 billion, according to the World Bank, have been going to India. We need to stop that. I don't know how Pakistan is sending $5 billion to India. This is another failing of ex-Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, which anyone would like to stop, absolutely.
No, but I'll tell you what we'd like to stop, General Musharraf.
$5 billion for Pakistan if we stop that money going to India.
You know, one of the biggest investigations of all time has been done by the India Today group when we carried the Hurriyat truth tapes to expose Hurriyat leaders on camera accepting that they are being funded by Pakistan, that they are burning schools in Kashmir, that they are planning riot calendars, that it's all one terrorism factory, that they get this money and they are burning Kashmir. This game that was being played for the last couple of decades, that now stands exposed. 7 Hurriyat terrorists already in jail, and people you know well, terrorists like Syed Ali Shah Gilani, Yasin Malik, Mirwaiz Omar Farooq are also likely to end up in jail very soon, thanks to the thorough probe being done right now by India's National Investigation Agency, General Musharraf.
Well, carry on your genocide and keep feeling proud of killing innocent civilians. That is what you will keep doing. You are doing that over the decades. When their demand is simple, that they want to get rid of you, and they want you to implement the UN Assembly, the resolution of 1948. Give them their rights, which you are denying, unfortunately. And
Sir,
when you are talking of
I must tell you about this
Pakistan,
investigation and what it shows. You've got Hurriyat leaders on camera accepting they're burning schools, General Musharraf, that they're killing people because they're being paid by ISI patrons in Pakistan.
That is nonsense.
You've got Hurriyat leaders on camera saying this themselves.
Okay, now let me answer. Please don't interrupt again when I'm talking. I was going to come to this. This is all nonsense that they go and burn schools. They don't burn schools. They attack your army, your military. That is what they do. And they are all volunteers who want to sacrifice their lives. The people here from Pakistan who go from Pakistan, they are volunteers. They put their lives at stake. And they are mujahideen because they want to help their Kashmiri brethren. And they do that, yes. But this exaggeration of their burning schools is your propaganda.
They're saying so themselves in their own words, General Musharraf. In our investigation, which is why it's been such a path-breaking story.
But cut that out. You can get that done anytime.
Sir, right now those 7 Hurriyat terrorists are in jail. You know, they're in an NIA jail in India because of how concrete the evidence laid out by India Today has been. It's not planted. Even the Hurriyat has had to distance itself from these people who've been exposed by India Today because of how compelling the evidence was. I must tell you, since the time this clampdown started, stone pelting incidents in Jammu and Kashmir have actually come down because all this money was coming from Pakistan. With that chain being snapped, now there are far fewer stone pelting instances than in the past, General Musharraf.
Obviously. You mean to say they have started loving you?
No, they don't have funds. A lot of people were out on the streets doing this because that was their vocation. They were being paid money to do so.
Very good. Rahul, cut that joke out, okay? All the youth of Kashmir have risen against you. You are ashamed. You should be ashamed of what you are doing. Your army is doing in Kashmir. The whole world is seeing that. What you are.
So I think after the American report, country report on terrorism issued by the US State Department has said that Pakistan is a safe haven for terrorists. If anyone has anything to be ashamed about, it's the Pakistani army for what you've been doing. You're giving Pakistan a bad name internationally, and you're now being called a safe haven for terrorists. Not just this, just last month the European Parliament adopted a resolution condemning human rights situation in Pakistan. The resolution, which was adopted by a majority, asked Pakistan to roll back its excesses and ensure respect for human rights and the rule of the law. They are opposing the increasing extrajudicial killings. All of this being done internationally, not just in the United States, but also across Europe, General Musharraf.
Well, there's a lot, I'm not ready with any references, but a lot of such statements have been given on Kashmir also. And you should be aware of that. But I don't have that in front of me now. So similar statements have been given. Now these are all distortions, they are all wrong. The Pakistan's failure has been in not being able to contradict and correct these impressions.
So to conclude, General Musharraf, what you're saying essentially is that Nawaz Sharif had to go because he wasn't able to, fully support the Pakistan Jihad factory. He wanted to shut those terror groups down. That's something the army didn't like, and ultimately he had to go, and you're hoping that whoever comes and takes charge will be able to take on Prime Minister Modi, who's been canvassing internationally against Pakistan with much success, leading to a massive global isolation of Pakistan.
No, he had to go because he told lies everywhere. He is most corrupt. He has looted and plundered Pakistan, and most of all, he has misgoverned Pakistan thrice, bringing misery to the people, isolating us internationally, and causing damage regionally. That is why he had to go. And it is good that he has gone, and the whole of Pakistan is happy about it. Only unhappy people are you in India.
Because he tried to forge peace, and he was sabotaged from within. He tried to walk on the road of friendship, and there were IEDs laid by the Pakistani army below their own Prime Minister. That is the problem, General Musharraf.
Go and ask Vajpayee Sahib and Manmohan Singh Sahib who was going on the road for peace. Okay? Ask them instead of talking about now. Nawaz Sharif has not, because he was appeasing you. He was appeasing Mr. Modi, who is abusing Pakistan. I don't appease anyone who abuses Pakistan. I'm not a Christian by faith, that you get a slap and you turn your other cheek. I don't turn the other cheek. If somebody slaps me, I'll box him.
Well,
so that is my attitude,
talking about,
and that is the attitude of Pakistan. That should be the attitude of Pakistan.
And that often happens against your own people. You've seen in the last several months the number of Baloch people who've stood against the Pakistani army, opposing huge extrajudicial killings, opposing civilians being killed, opposing women being enslaved, women being raped by people in the Pakistani army. Video after video now emerging from Balochistan, which shows the kind of excesses and the perversity that the Pakistani army is executing there, General Musharraf.
Very good. I think you consult the dictionary more and bring some more adjectives of how bad the situation there is. This is all figment of your imagination.
It's not, sir.
But let me also tell you that there are 12 insurgencies going on in India. Mind that more. Don't bother about Balochistan. Go to the east. Go and see Moral Liberation Front. Go and see the Ulfa. Go and see the Maoist and Naxalites who are rising against you, and what your forces are doing there. What are you talking? I think mind your own business.
So I don't think the reference to excesses in Balochistan seems to have gone down well. That is a raw nerve. That's a raw nerve for all Pakistani generals, because your own people are complaining and are opposing and are out on the streets about the excesses that the Pakistani army is meting out against them.
Yeah. There are no excesses. And abroad, a few of them. They are all very patriotic, there is no doubt in that. But there are few who are not. And they are the ones who you encourage, and your encourages abroad. And they rise against and talk against Pakistan, and your media then brings them out and prints articles, shows them on papers, in newspapers,
truth pinches, it seems, General Musharraf. The truth always pinches.
With your
these are voices you wouldn't want be heard. These are people you wish to silence. And when their cries for justice emerge, then naturally
Rahul,
the generals in Rawalpindi
Indian,
are upset.
Let me tell you, Rahul, your Indians are very, very. I think you are living in your own world. You are living in your own world of make believe, and you try to project that. And I must say, your media does a good job, and you are doing a good job of projecting all wrong, all nonsense. You try to project. You are trying to project Kashmir. You are doing a great job, whereas it is a horrible job which you are doing. And you are trying to project in Balochistan. There is nothing. There is a minor which you are encouraging, and we are managing it. There is no problem.
General Musharraf, in conclusion, I must only remind you that we are talking about the Indian army and the Pakistani army. We are speaking in a week when India is celebrating Vijay Divas, the victory day, for our massive victory on the heights of Kargil, where brave soldiers of the Indian army were able to foil this plan that you orchestrated to try and attack us in the pitch of darkness. And this is something all of India is very, very joyous and proud about. These are what Indians celebrate, remember and salute, General Musharraf.
You are celebrating? Yeah. Can you see me laughing? I am laughing. I am laughing at this.
Yes, we had the last laugh.
Ask your army what
we
happened
had the last laugh on the icy heights of Tololing. We had the last laugh on the icy heights of Tiger Hill, where Indian soldiers climbed up bravely and vanquished the Pakistani army, whose dead bodies your government and you at that time, General Musharraf, refused to accept.
Yeah. Rahul, you are enjoying these adjectives so much. Vanquishing the Pakistan.
That is what happened.
You didn't even know the damn where we are sitting. We were sitting in 4 other places. You didn't even know the damn thing. You vanquished the Pakistan army. Which Pakistan army? It was Northern Light Infantry, Northern Scouts, second line forces against your whole bloody army was dealing with. What are you talking, Rahul?
General Musharraf, you sent us your best and we gave you our best. And the whole world knows how the Kargil War ended. So that, as you're saying that, as Pakistan stabilizes, you can expect more action now that Nawaz Sharif is gone. I think the week that we remember Kargil is a good week to remember what happens when any country dare mess with us.
Well, we taught you a lesson there. We gave you tit for tat, what you did in Siachen. We taught you what you...
So we got all the land back.
Again.
We're sitting... I was in Siachen just a few months ago with a very charged up Indian brigade over there. We're still sitting in Siachen, whereas Pakistan was forced to leave every single height. Kargil, Mashko, Dras, whichever sector it may have been, you were forced to run with your backs to us, General Musharraf. All of the Pakistani soldiers who were there were ultimately forced to vacate.
Okay, Rahul, I think cut this out. Cut this out. You need to see the dictionary also again and pick such good words to use and feel very happy talking about it with your mouth full. Let's finish the discussion.
Okay. I think I'm going to leave it there because the firepower of our army is as strong as the firepower of our journalists, and we're going to leave it over there. General Pervez Musharraf, for joining us. Thank you so much. You're saying a couple of important news points. One, that you hope to get back to Pakistan soon. You're open to tying up with Imran Khan in the next general elections, and you're hoping also that Pakistan's policy towards India changes because the army there didn't feel Nawaz Sharif was doing a strong enough job of projecting Pakistan's interests or of defending the jihad factory complex. That is what General Musharraf hopes will change now that Nawaz Sharif is gone. For joining us live and exclusive from Dubai, General Pervez Musharraf, thank you very much, sir.